It's my favorite time of year, so I thought I would just make another little video about Halloween. The series about murderers I did was pretty serious, so how about something fun? First, I'll just give some information I found about what Halloween was generally like in the 1920s, and then we'll take a look at some costumes from then. As you can probably guess, Halloween was not the same as it is today. It wasn't until around the 1930s that it began to look like what we know as Halloween. But that doesn't mean there weren't similarities. There were Halloween costumes in the 1920s, but people mostly only wore them to parties. There wasn't really trick-or-treating as we know it. But interestingly, in the 1920s, Halloween was a bit of a nuisance. You see, mischievous pranksters mostly used it as an excuse to cause trouble. Pranking, destruction of property, trespassing, soaping windows, tipping over outhouses, things adults were very annoyed by. Here are a couple of interesting little newspaper bits I found about Halloween from the year 1920. The first clipping is from Ogden, Utah. Scouts aid police to curb pranksters. More than 500 Boy Scouts of Ogden aided the police last night in various sections of the city in curbing the activities of Halloween pranksters. The Boy Scouts offered their services last week, and they were accepted by Captain Jonathan Jones of the police department. It is estimated by Scout officials in Philadelphia that more than $10,000 was saved last year by the cooperation of the Scouts with police officers in that city on the night of Halloween, it is said. In Ogden alone, considerable damage is done each year, which will in the future be eliminated, according to Scout Executive G.A. Goetz. The Boy Scouts are rapidly making a name for their organization throughout the United States and other nations, said Scout Executive Goetz. And in aiding the police of Ogden in obtaining order, they have established a new phase of endeavor to their long list. The move is a nationwide one, and while Halloween can be properly celebrated, property should be safeguarded. This next local news story comes from Kansas City, Oklahoma. Jokesters in KC terrorize car's crew with body of woman. Halloween pranksters scored one today on a trolley crew. Police, an ambulance, and a wrecking crew were hurriedly summoned when a terrified car crew found the body of a woman jammed beneath the trucks of their car and reaching the barns. Police and the wrecking crew raised the car and hauled out the body. It was a shapely tailor's dummy, taken by jokesters from a nearby dressmaking establishment. Another article from 1922 shows a more general picture of what many towns had to suffer through on Halloween night. This one is from Topeka, Kansas. Halloween pranksters engaged in premature celebrations are keeping the police busy at night. The removal of rocking chairs from front porches and of gates and of other movable property is becoming common in all parts of town. Motorcycle police were kept busy answering calls Friday night. A rock was thrown through a window in the State Street schoolhouse and several benches broken up. Garfield Avenue was blocked for a time with sewer pipes. So that gives you a picture of the kinds of things kids and teenagers were up to around Halloween in the early years of the decade. But there were people who wanted to change this and persuade children to abstain from such mischievous activities. For example, in Baraboo, Wisconsin, one theater owner decided to offer half-price tickets to a film shown on October 29th in exchange for signing a pledge promising not to be destructive on Halloween. These pledges were called honor cards, and the children seemed to take them seriously. A similar program was conducted in Sacramento, California, with the pledge reading, "I hereby pledge to refrain from marking windows with soap, wax, or tallow, destroying, harming, or removing property, or doing anything that isn't good, clean, harmless fun on Halloween. This pledge, properly signed, will admit you free of charge to see Harold Lloyd in The Freshman at the California Theater next Saturday, October 27th at 12:30 p.m. sharp." The communities that tried these strategies reported that they did in fact work, and many children showed up for the matinee and stayed true to their word and did not cause trouble on Halloween. Alright, so after that little bit of background, let's get into some costumes. Just a little note, I couldn't confirm the exact date of some of these photos, so they may be a little bit before or after the 1920s, but they probably would have been similar. I picked out a handful of photos I found online. I'll start with some pretty normal ones that were probably more typical for the day, and then I'll slowly start getting into the stranger ones and save the best ones for last. First, let's start with some illustrations from a magazine. I actually like these designs quite a bit, and I'm not really an artsy person. The spider dress one looks pretty cool actually. And you have a typical witch, something you'll see quite a bit of in other photos as well. So here's another illustration showing a different set with some interesting ones like the geisha and the vintage style clown. It seems to me, after looking through a lot of these photos, this style of clown costume was very popular. Perhaps it's because the black and white color scheme is aesthetically pleasing, I don't know. But you see it a lot, for men and women. Okay, so now here's another kind of costume that seems pretty familiar to us even now. The skeleton costume has been around for a long time apparently, with not too much changed about it. But most people now don't get their horses involved, but maybe that's an idea for someone. Now things are starting to get a little bit strange. This photo was taken in 1922 according to the caption. I can't really tell what the masks are made from. The one on the right almost looks like a paper bag, and he looks like he's smiling, and the woman on the left has a sassy pose, so it looks like they're having a good time. Maybe they went to a neighborhood party after this photo was taken. Here we have a group of completely random giant heads. An elderly couple, an elephant, some foxes, a cat, a baby? I don't know, what is that, a Buddha? And a weird black and white frowning cat face thing? Maybe a better question is, what is that? Seriously, what is that thing? Somebody please kill it before it kills us. I can't tell if it's crazy or a prisoner of the other big heads. Kinda looks like its mouth is duct tape too. Here we have a mixed bag. We have a Mad Hatter or something on the top left, a clown in the middle, a jester on the right. The two cloaked figures are a bit sinister looking, but the bottom two are kind of freaking me out. A psychopath who looks like he or she is about to murder everyone in the room, and the other one with an unsettling lack of any expression whatsoever. I don't know if it's just me, but the simple expressionless faces and masks are by far the worst, more than any scary creature. I don't even know what to say about this one. Every single costume is just horrifying. Aside from the racial stereotypes, what is this face? It's so uncomfortable. I mean, it's expressionless, but also not at the same time. I don't know how to explain it. Well, the witch at least is smiling a little bit, but oh my god, that is the scariest clown I think I've ever seen. And I used to go to the Barnum and Bailey circus as a child. But this one, I don't know, maybe it's Gacy's grandfather. The man in the back might be the worst, at least for me. It's the same blank expression as the women on each side, but he looks more unhinged. I hope that face doesn't stick in your memory for too long. Okay, I don't know if this one or the last one is the worst. They're both just so unsettling. Most of the people in this photo look like Leatherface way before that character even existed. I have so many questions about this one, like, what's up with the two people in the middle of the second row? Is that one on the right even a person? It looks like it's just a pumpkin face, but it's hard to tell. Maybe it's a small child? There's another horrifying clown. I don't know which one is worse, this one or the one in the previous picture. This one looks more like one of those old porcelain dolls that everyone seems to hate so much. And that wizard on the top left, I don't know, it looks like his face was put in a meat grinder. But the elephant in the room is that guy at the bottom. It's like Leatherface, but with a disturbing smile etched onto the face. That would definitely give someone PTSD if he appeared in their dreams. And he's holding that stick in such a calm but yet threatening way. I don't like it. I just don't like it. This one has got to be the scariest for me. But let's also take a moment to appreciate the man in the back, the only one not wearing a mask. He just looks so dead inside, like he really doesn't want to be there. Maybe he just quickly made a little hat out of paper and called it good. I don't know what the story is behind it, but he really doesn't look happy. That's what it looks like anyway. He kind of looks like the world's first tinfoil hat conspiracy theorist. Well, so anyways, which costume was the scariest for you? Let me know in the comments. Maybe we can get a consensus. Well, that's it for this pretty short video. It's close to Halloween, and someone commented that I should do a video about what it was like in the 1920s, so I quickly threw this video together. And like I said at the beginning, I thought a little nice, light-hearted Halloween video would offset the unfortunately real and horrific things in the murderers videos. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please spread the word to others. And as usual, please let me know your thoughts and suggestions in the comments below. Well, that's all for now, all you sheiks and gals out there, but stay tuned for more tales from the Jazz Age. And happy Halloween.